Hey man, so look right. Oh, hold on. I had to put that away. Look right, we on some reaction shit because you know the rapping shit is kind of like it's dead right now. I think they take it a break. I believe so. Yeah, we got Kelda right there, lit and shit. We react to notorious serial killers from every state. Part 1, just a marathon. I'm back on my crime reacting shit. So, you know, stay tuned. Like, comment, subscribe. Most important thing, subscribe, bro. Please. Before the video starts, please click the damn subscribe button, bro. Please. It's not like you see the honey buns. All right, but yeah, let's get to it, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Do you know the most notorious serial killer from where you live? From your
I ain't gonna lie. If my state is on here, bro, I might just move.
home state? On May 31st, 2002, 22-year-old Charlotte Marie Pace was discovered by her roommate, dead, nearly naked, covered in stab wounds and a slit throat.
Damn.
Pace was stabbed 80 times, raped, and bludgeoned with an iron by Derek Todd Lee.
Oh, that nigga look crazy. I ain't gonna lie, bro. But that nigga said stabbed 80 times, the R word, and then he beat her with an iron, gang. Like, what? What's wrong with that nigga? If he ain't get death penalty, bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Nah, bro.
Baton Rouge serial killer. Similar
He's
attacks
from
were
Baton
happening
Rouge,
around Baton Rouge in the late 90s and the early 2000s, leading police to conclude that they were committed by a single perpetrator. In July 2002, Lee attacked Diana
The month and year I was born? Damn.
Alexander, breaking into her home and attempting sexual assault before ultimately using a phone cord and trying to strangle her. She was able to defend herself long enough until her son's car was heard entering the driveway, prompting Lee to escape. In May 2003, Lee was apprehended by police thanks to DNA evidence at other crime scenes in addition to the testimonies of
Bro, so this nigga was on the road with the crime scenes, bro. He was just going. Ain't get no fucks. Causing crime, bro.
Alexander and her son. A month later, Lee was tried for only 2 out of 8 of his.
Hold on, gang. My door ain't closed. Forgot. Alright, bet. We back to normal programs because the game is turned on. The Cavs game. And yeah, we need to get that situated.
Murders. He was sentenced separately for his first and second degree murder, receiving the death penalty for one of his sentences.
Damn!
Todd Lee died while on death row in January 2016. From 1976 to 1977, postal worker David Berkowitz shot and killed 6 people and injured 7 others around New York City. He shot his
Damn!
victims with a 44 caliber Charter Arms Bulldog revolver.
Bro, he was on his Red Dead Redemption shit. Went crazy with that bit. Alright, no, that's bold. My bad. I'm sorry.
Over while they sat in their cars, many of them couples. Many survived his attacks as well. Newspapers originally dubbed him as the 44 caliber killer, but Berkowitz left a letter at a double murder crime scene in April 1977 calling himself the Son of Sam. Berkowitz then wrote a letter to a reporter the following month requesting that he relay a message to the police stating, "Please inform all the detectives working the case that I wish them the best of luck." At
What?
one point,
That's some crazy nigga shit.
over 300 police officers from different boroughs were investigating the murders. Late night spots were less crowded and the city was in a frenzy. As a result, the summer of 1977, New York became known as the Summer of Sam. It wasn't until the witness testimony of Cecilia Davis that police were
This nigga shut New York down, boy. I'm not gonna lie. That's some crazy shit.
able to locate Berkowitz. Davis told police that one evening, after a man walked past her holding what she thought could be a gun, she heard 2 gunshots. The next morning, she learned that 2 people were attacked at that location. Davis also mentioned seeing the suspect remove a parking ticket from his windshield as he walked away. This parking ticket allowed police to track and apprehend Berkowitz in August 1977.
Bro, this nigga look like he just got some big ass fists, bro. Like some Wreck-It Ralph type shit, bro. He look crazy as fuck.
Upon his arrest, he reportedly said to the officers, "Well, you found me." When asked about his motives,
The
Berkowitz
fuck?
claims his neighbor's black lab commanded him to commit the murders. He is currently serving 6 sentences of 25 to life at
Damn.
Schwangung Correctional Facility in upstate New York.
See, when it comes to shit like this, bro, like serial killing, bro, what the fuck is it there to sentence, bro? Just death penalty that nigga, bro. I ain't gonna lie. If I'm a judge, bro, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't trying to hear that shit, bro. Yo ass going in that chair. You going in that fucking chair.
Between 1970 and 1971, Donald Harvey killed 13 patients at the Marymount.
Like, you see what I'm saying, bro? This nigga killed hospital patients. 13. 13.
Hospital in London, Kentucky. Harvey was a healthcare worker in both Kentucky and Ohio, murdering his victims at the facilities where he worked. He'd administer arsenic, cyanide, rat poison, or petroleum distillate by mixing them into food or beverages before giving them to his...
Bro, I don't even want to go to the hospital no more, bro. I'm not eating none of that food they give me, bro. Hell no, bro.
victims. At other times, some patients were smothered with pillows or suffocated slowly at his refusal to refill their oxygen tanks. Harvey claimed it was easy, stating that the doctors were so busy that residents such as himself would be the ones to pronounce a patient dead. Harvey was caught in 1987 after an...
They just been thinking like, yeah, they just died of natural causes the whole time. It's that nigga that's telling you that they dead, bro. He just playing it cool like, man, this patient just passed. Whole time it's him killing them niggas, bro. What the fuck? Suffocation is crazy.
Autopsy revealed one of his patients had cyanide present in his stomach cavity. Harvey pleaded guilty to 36 murders and 1 count of manslaughter.
36.
And received multiple life sentences. Harvey died on March 30th, 2017, succumbing to blunt force trauma-related injuries he received while in an Ohio prison.
Damn, what the fuck? He was beating his ass in that bitch?
1974 and 1991, Dennis Rader, aka the BTK Killer, murdered 10 people in and around Wichita, Kansas. The letters stood for bind, torture, kill.
Oh, hell no.
Vanished between 1991 and 2004.
That nigga vanished. What? How you let a nigga just vanish, bro? Like, I don't get it, bro. The nigga vanished for what, 13 years, bro? I had to calculate that because I'm high. I can't calculate math right now.
When an article in the Wichita Eagle posed the possibility that the killer was either dead or in prison. This resulted in Rader sending a letter to the Eagle anonymously confessing to a 1986 murder. He continued to send...
Nigga confessed to a murder years ago after you already did it, bro. It's 2004. You talking about some shit that happened in 86. They still finna get your ass though, boy.
Confessions to local news and radio stations as well as police through written letters and postcards. In one communication with the police, Rader asked if he could send them a floppy disk without any repercussions. The authorities put out an ad in the paper reading, "Rex, it will be okay," per Rader's instructions. 2 weeks later, a floppy disk was delivered to a local radio station and police were able to track down Rader. Authorities were able to use DNA from a pap smear exam taken by Rader's daughter, which matched some preserved DNA from a previous BTK killer crime scene. Dennis Rader was arrested on February 25, 2005. With over 30 hours of his confession on tape, he was sentenced to 10 life sentences, which he's currently serving at the El Dorado Correctional Facility in Kansas.
That nigga still alive? Damn, it's like he's about to... it's like it's about his time soon. 2005 to now. Shit, he gotta be at least like 90 in that bitch, ain't he? Shit.
July 21st, 1979, the Atlanta child killer began his reign of terror.
Child, bro. Come on, bro. Like, what?
Starting with the disappearance of a 14-year-old boy, followed by another teen's disappearance just days later. Over the next 2 years,
he was
claimed
on
the
a
lives
mission
of as many as 29 victims, most of whom were young black youth between the ages of 7 to 17. These victims vanished in broad daylight in the midst of ordinary public venues. Within a few weeks or months, their bodies would be found throughout the city, in rivers, under bridges, or behind dumpsters.
Behind dumpsters? Who the fuck worked there? That you don't see a body.
This pattern of
Bro, rivers, under bridges and dumpsters. Like, imagine you just probably sightseeing, bro. You see a body, bro.
Dumping bodies into rivers would eventually lead to the arrest of Wayne Williams. 23-year-old Wayne Williams was discovered and subsequently arrested by authorities one night near the Chattahoochee River for driving erratically. Immediately after, police heard the sound of a large object being dropped into the water. A few days later, a body was discovered at the same location. Williams was arrested on Father's Day 1982 with prior arrest record and DNA from his home matching 2 victims of the Atlanta child killer. He was convicted of 2 murders and sentenced to life in prison. Shortly after, Williams was attributed to the 20 other victims of the Atlanta child killer, but was never tried, as officials felt the need not to since they believed the right man was caught. However, some remain skeptical about Williams being declared the killer. In 2019, the mayor of Atlanta reopened the case, but developments have yet to be made. Williams is currently carrying out his sentence in Telfair State Prison. You probably heard of Ed Gein, aka the Butcher of Plainfield, even without recognizing his name, as he was the main inspiration for Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Norman Bates in Psycho. After being arrested in 1957 for being named a suspect in a murder, police found human body parts scattered throughout his home. Many of the body parts had been turned into furniture and clothing. Guy
That nigga turned a human skull into a fucking statue. Or like, bro. What?
admitted to killing 2 women, but pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. He was initially found unfit to stand trial, but then was later deemed fit enough to take the stand in 1968, where he was found guilty of the murder in question, and sent back to psychiatric hospital where he died of cancer in 1984.
Hey man, cancer's not a good thing that people should have, but bro, you killed these people, bro. You.
In the late 1980s, Stephen Brian Pennell, aka the Route 40 killer, picked up women and hitchhikers with his van on Route 40 before torturing, murdering, and disposing of their remains. His first victim,
Bro, these stories is getting out of hand. When you kidnap people, you torturing them. I don't know what torture is, but you getting tied up, probably getting burnt. They just burning your face, letting you just suffer. And then afterwards, they just taking your remains and just dumping you somewhere. That means they cutting your body up, chunking your shit as they drive. Like, what the fuck?
3-year-old Shirley Ann Ellis was discovered.
Matter of fact, I hope that one story, that lady's on here, bro. The black lady, she from my state, bro. She's still on the run to this day. This shit happened years ago.
Power off.
So when you sneeze, the speaker go off? Fuck it.
Deceased by a young couple on November 29, 1987. Her body had been tied up and was severely mutilated. In June 1998, construction workers found the remains of 31-year-old Catherine DeMauro on the side of the road, with similarities to Ellis' murder.
On the side of the
She was known
road.
to have hitchhiked as means of getting around. Later that year, another victim who disappeared off Route 40, 27-year-old Margaret Lynn Finner, was last seen alive entering a blue Ford by witnesses, prompting the FBI and police to send undercover police officer Renee Tashner to investigate. Tashner was successfully able to stop Pennell in his distinctive blue Ford van on the side of the road and secretly gather the blue carpet fibers from his van. Running his plates, police learned Pennell was an electrician, husband, and father with no criminal history, but the carpet fibers matched those found on his second victim, DeMauro, which was later enough for authorities to arrest him. But in the meantime, as forensic evidence was being processed and a case built out, Pennell, who perhaps knew the police were onto him, quickly claimed the lives of 2 more people in the days that followed.
What
He was
the
ultimately
fuck?
convicted for the murders of Ellis and DeMauro, pleaded no contest to the murders of 2
Bro, so bro just driving around on Route 40, just looking for the right motherfucker.
more victims and was sentenced to death on Halloween 1991.
He the only one that got sentenced to death. That sound like everybody's video should be sentenced to death, bro.
Surprisingly, during the trial, Pennell requested the death penalty himself, making him the first man executed in Delaware in 47 years when he was executed in
He requested to die.
1994. As of 2020, he was the only documented serial killer in the state's history. In 2003, William
Oh,
Devin
hell no. They call him the Stick Ripper, bro. I can't see the name because I'm blocking it, my bad.
Howell, the self-proclaimed sick ripper, murdered 7 people in the state of Connecticut. Howell was a drifter, utilizing his van, which he called the Murdermobile, to work odd jobs throughout the state while also targeting his victims.
Called that bitch
He
the
would dispose of
Murdermobile.
his victims at
It's just like, bro, how do you wake up one day and be like, I want to be crazy? Like, how does this shit come about? You just becoming crazy, bro. He called that shit the murder. Who calls their car that? Like, what the fuck?
at a New Britain strip mall in an area he would later deem the Garden. Initially, Howell was convicted for manslaughter for the disappearance of 33-year-old Nilsa Arizmendi due to the lack of evidence. But in 2007, the remains of all 7 victims were discovered throughout the year, after one of his prison inmates was able to draw a map leading investigators to Howell's wicked garden of bodies. DNA for one of the...
It's like, bro, I couldn't sit there, kidnap somebody, kill him and shit, chop him up, put him in a bag, and just start dumping him off, bro. Like, I don't get it, bro. I don't get it, bro. I really don't. Who wakes up and just decides to be like, yeah, I'm gonna go find somebody, I'm gonna torture them, gonna execute them, chop up their remains, and dump them off in rivers and shit, and then go home and go to sleep, and do it again the next day. Like, what the fuck?
The remains belonged to Arizmendi, which eventually led to Howell's sentencing increasing to 360 years or 6 consecutive life sentences for sexual assault and murder. Post-sentencing,
Oh,
more
God.
details were revealed about his actions. Howell
Oh,
admitted
shit.
to hitting a McDonald's drive-thru to buy one of his victims her last meal as she was tied up naked in the back of his van.
So he got her in the back of the van saying, what you want your last meal to be? Because you not going home after this. What the fuck? What's wrong with him? He said, do you want McDonald's to be your last meal? Because this is really going to be your last meal, bro. You're not going home after this. I'm sorry. You will hear that shit in the back of somebody's van, bro. It's just like, bro, your shit stop beating right there, bro. I should stop beating right there. I'd die on scene right there. I'm not gonna lie.
In one instance, after murdering his victim, Howell slept next to the body in his van for as long as 2 weeks. In 1957 and 1958, 19-year-old Charles Starkweather went on an admitted killing spree in Wyoming and Nebraska. Alongside him was 14-year-old Carol Fugate, whose mother, stepfather, and half-sister made up the list of victims, which eventually ended up being 11 people during this time.
Man, they had a whole plan.
Starkweather was only tried and convicted of one murder, but it was enough to sentence him to death, and he was executed via electric chair in 1959. Fugate spent 17 years in prison for her role in the killings, and as recently as 2020 has spoken up about her role being unwilling and that she too was a victim of Starkweather. However, her
How the fuck he wasn't?
request for pardon was overturned. In 1990, Danny Rolling, aka the Gainesville Ripper, terrorized the Sunshine State by murdering 5 known individuals, admitting to possibly killing 3 others, attempting to murder his father, and committing frequent robberies. Over a span of
Oh, he was living the GTA life for sure.
3 days in late August that year, Rolling had raped and murdered 4 female college students and murdered 1 male student.
In 3
What's especially
days?
horrifying was most of the female victims were discovered naked, mutilated, placed in poses, and found washed with soap or vinegar. News
What the fuck is wrong with people?
of these attacks affected nearby colleges and students, eventually drawing a call from a woman visiting Florida, Cindy Juricic. Juricic reported to Crime Stoppers that she knew of similar crimes that happened in Shreveport, Louisiana, the murder of the Grissom family a year prior, where 3 members were discovered dead in their home. A DNA match and confession later would reveal that Rawling had also attempted to murder his father a few months prior, whose home was in Shreveport, by shooting him in the head following an argument. Rawling would
He survived a headshot. Damn. Whoa.
eventually be caught and convicted for his horrifying crimes, primarily because of his robberies. On the day his victim, Krista Hoyt, was discovered, a nearby bank had been robbed, and authorities followed a suspicious man to a campsite in the woods before losing him, discovering a cassette with a bag of cash. On the cassette, Rawling was heard singing a confession. Rawling was already in custody for robbing a supermarket by the time authorities finally listened to that tape and were ready to charge him for the murders. Rawling would confess to his crimes to his fellow inmates, formally plead guilty to all 5 murders on February 15, 1994, and was sentenced to death. On October 25th,
He lived a good life, fool.
2006, Danny Rawling was executed via lethal injection.
Ooh, that's like the worst way, bro. You watch them put the needle in you and you just... No. Oh my god. That's not funny, bro. But it's like, bro, you did all that, bro. You deserved it, bro. Oh my god, bro. People is fucking insane, bro. I couldn't, bro. I couldn't. Let me know how y'all think about that shit. I couldn't just sit there and just wake up and be like, yeah, I'm finna go execute some people. No.